Hey, what's up? What's going on, guys? Trying to get this music volume. I think that's it. Hopefully, that's it. So, how's everybody doing? I wanted to do this live for two reasons. One, I kind of wanted to check, vet, and work out whatever the error was yesterday when I did this, and just kind of make sure that that's resolved. I think it ended up being like the bandwidth, like the feed through, like in the stream. I think the um, what's it called? The kilobit, like the through rate. I think was there was something going on with that. But basically, I adjusted that, and then I checked earlier today when I got back, and yeah, you don't care about it yet. All right, so today, today. Um, I did a thing. I kind of did a bad thing. But I didn't pay for it. It didn't hurt me. I didn't hurt myself. But I went against something that I said that I was not going to do. That's not promising. Hang on. It dropped me down though. It still got me on the daily. So let's go down to the 5 minute, and I'll show you what I did. So I got back early today. As typical. And the crazy thing is, zero zero news and reporting. Like I didn't watch, I didn't listen to anything. So, as I kind of told you guys yesterday, like, if I said for the rest of the week that only doing practice account, only in the practice account, only in the practice account, right? Um so yeah, about that. So let's work backwards. All right, I'll work backwards, and I know the market's going to be open in like 12 minutes, and then I'll give you kind of what I think may be getting ready to get set up. So down here, right after all of this lovely whipsaw movement back and forth, I'm just going to point your eye here to this manipulation sell side liquidity that occurred at 12:35. So this is basically that opening range. I could just do. Can I do that? Yeah, no. Oh, I took it off and I left the Globex. Okay, so basically, everybody that watched the stream last night, you already knew that we had like the sell side, so we opened with that gap, right? And then we closed through, but essentially once we got into regular trade hour, the turnaround point was this manipulation leg low. So I'm not going to take you through all of that price action, like you've either seen it or there are other people on YouTube that will break that down a little bit more methodically than I will at this point. What I wanted to kind of bring you to is how one, and this is how I'm rationalizing what happened. This is 100% how I'm going to rationalize this. I'm going to rationalize it to the fact that I did not follow through what I said, and I'm looking at this as like I got popped on the wrist because I said I wasn't going to trade combine, no nothing else, just a practice account, right? However, I was a victim of I don't, I didn't want that smoke. I'll just I didn't want the drawdown. Okay. So here's what happened. Just cutting to the chase. 12:35 was basically a manipulation level, and then ultimately it could have been a run back to the opposing side. So maybe we were looking for that Globex open from last night. There's no manipulation on that side. So I started looking at maybe the 2 to 3 p.m. this afternoon, and I only like marked out the levels because I just wanted to see. I wanted to see how it was going to work out with, conversations, Fed pundits and heads and people speaking and all kinds of foolery. Right? I figured let's just watch, let's just see, and slowly but surely, price came all the way down. It wicked through this level, and then it made a low. Now, there are two things that are interesting about this level. One, yeah, it's the manipulation sell side that's getting basically wicked out. It's not quite a soup, but if you want to go that far, you can go that far. I'm not going to be mad at you. Okay? But we've gone through this level, we've made a low. Here's the other interesting thing about this. This candle right here, that's 3 p.m. So the 3 p.m. candle technically is soup. Sell side taken. This is an established low. So 310, I'm looking at this going, mayhaps I can ride this back up. And I wasn't saying I'm going to ride it all the way back here. No. I just said, hey, I'm just going to take one. I'm just going to take this one candle. I'll just take a 3 p.m., right? But foolhardily as I may be, I got in somewhere around here. I'd already marked this out, and I got out essentially on the wick of this candle. Now, I did get out in profit, very minimal profit, but profit nonetheless. So the video that I uploaded for the 302.20 combine is accurate, but after the little mini $80 and then after commission like $74.80, I added to that total from this wick. However, because I'd also entered similar placement on the practice account yielded the full benefit of this. So, a lot of people like to talk a lot of crapola, and they tell you one thing. I'll just show you. That's basically the month P&L. That's not this week. But as you can see, maybe you could see, I don't know exactly how to zoom in on this, but $1,421. I took 5 trades today. I did take an earlier trade when I got back to the house. That was at about 10. Give me 1 second and I can look here. Yeah. So a little after 10 this morning. Yeah. So 10, that was $425. We had basically the Globex from last night, which was ultimately today as well. That was $340. And then a $30 position. I think that's when we ended up. I basically moved basically my stop and went risk off, and then we got stopped out. And then the afternoon trade basically yielded another 800. So that was like $800 on that position coming back. That's the practice account. This is the combine account. Like I said, there's no shame, complete freaking transparency. Like I don't care, right? So, in the combine itself, I'm up 1460. The position, had I just held it, we would have passed the combine today. But again, hindsight says you really wouldn't have, because you shouldn't have been trading today anyway. But there's a 374.40, as I said. That was a $75 brief long, 305, 725. Well, I'm sorry, the 725 is from a couple days ago. So yeah, so that was, as they say, that, right? So let's go back to the practice. Don't want any mistakes. So one other thing. So we got 5 minutes before the open. So let's talk about a couple of things. Let's go out to the daily and just give you like a quick perspective on what could be setting up here. Okay? What could be. Not financial advice. Don't sue me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I came up with a ridiculously crazy, yet I think extremely humorous idea going forward. I'm going to implement that probably during our next live stream after this for a thumbnail. I think it's cool as shit. It's funny to me. But anyway, anywho's. So Monday, here's Monday sitting here. Monday's taking out Friday low, clearly, right? Close back inside. Tuesday opens. Tuesday has taken Monday high and has also closed back inside. But as we all well know, what, pray tell, could this be? Could it be a Tuesday high? Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be, right? I'm also looking at this obviously as a soup. So now at this point, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just saying to myself, all things considered, I'm definitely looking for a short. I would be looking for shorts. I would ultimately be looking for Globex to open up. We might run that initial balance high from technically yesterday or earlier today. We may see that retracement. And then after that, I'm not interested in anything else long. Now I'm going to take and put my annotations on here. Here's the other reason why I'm supporting the shorts. We're not within this. I believe this is actually a 4-hour candle range, which we've been in and out. We've been bobbing and weaving back and forth in here. And I think that the dam is finally ready to break on this low. There's candle range. That was the manipulation sell side liquidity that was down here, and then we've drawn right back up, back into this range. Now, there are a couple of things that could happen. We could actually come all the way back up because this is Globex. It's the overnight, so we could see longs. We could see price just run for the hills, because if we are to see lower price this week, I kind of just marked out this area of fair value. This is all the way back from like November. Okay. And to be specific, November 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's what this fair value covers. So could that be a landing spot for price later this week? Totally possible. I would see that as potentially a landing and a launch pad, either or, right? For both. We could go down to the 4-hour really quickly. It looks like we're going to be opening up here in about a minute and a half. I don't think I marked out. Let me just clear that off real quick. So, yeah. So technically, if we're still leaning on the 6 a.m. 4-hour candle, we're still inside. So we still got body closure inside. So as I just said, if we're actually going to run long, intermediary target could be basically the 6 a.m. Candle range, the 4-hour candle range high. It could be here. And let's see, looking back at yesterday. Yeah, and then that's Monday 6 a.m. So it's possible, right? It's possible. But there's I don't know. Like, it's one of the few times where I'm not going to hold you guys. We're not going to necessarily sit through price as we have been. I just kind of wanted to hop on and confess my combine trading crimes to my community. Okay, and the market's just open, so we'll sit for a minute. I'm just curious to see how this candle opens. I can actually get rid of this now that I've incriminated and I've told on myself. I can get rid of those. I'm really interested to see how because there's a part of me that feels like just looking at how price is delivered, and I wanted to check if anybody that's watching right now, if you wouldn't mind, because I don't want to leave the screen. I thought somebody was speaking this evening at 6 p.m. and I might have my days confused. It might not be today. It might be tomorrow. But like I said, I want to see how the 6 p.m. candle opens and what we get off of this. Because this is not really even going to be worth, not really. I'll do it anyway, but it's not really worth marking out like that opening range, because it's going to be so concise that if you're looking for participation on both sides, I honestly don't think we're going to get participation on both sides. I think we'll see like a one-sided market. And what I mean by one-sided is I'm just simply saying, since we have a big economic news tomorrow, price is kind of going to set itself up, and then it's going to run to the preferred side of the market, to which it can kind of, do its price action thing and either advance, or it's going to distribute as it sees fit. So for me, the overnight is realistically just going to tell whether or not we end up with a true Tuesday. If you're looking at a weekly profile perspective, we're either going to end up with a true Tuesday high of the week, or depending upon, again, this Globex session going into Asia, and ultimately by London, you'll probably have a decent enough idea as to whether or not the Tuesday is going to remain intact, or if we get that manipulation, say at the end of Asia or into London, that's going to now present maybe Wednesday as the high of the week. And then again, not saying, but it can at least allow you to go back and look through price and see, okay, if that's the high of the week, you can figure and find your own intermediary targets prior to 8:30, and said faces getting ripped to shreds, because it can be violent. So that's one of the things that I'll probably just continue to try to work on, not work up to trading those economic events. But one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of invest a little bit more time in like the Globex Open and also in the practice accounts is, when you have economic news, and maybe you have like a little bit of like an intermodal, or you have like a bias within just the concepts and price, sometimes you can take advantage of those moves and just be satisfied with whatever you're able to extract, and then you just go sit down and let the big boys with the deep pocketbooks, let them hash it out and do what they're gonna do, rather than the YOLOs. So I don't want to sound like a broken record, but yeah, at this point, we would probably, if this is going to present itself potentially as like a Wednesday high of the week, you'd be looking at, maybe you get the equal participation, like we get this pop above. If price stays below this, right, and it doesn't come back over this, it's not going to be a equal participation for Globex. It's literally going to be a one-sided deal. And if it's one-sided, it literally will just be kind of what we've already experienced today. It'll literally just run, and then it'll retrace, it'll come back up. And for me, like if it's doing some crap like that, it's literally telling you, or it could indicate that it's just going to create a massive amount of interterm liquidity to run long. If it's going down, right? If it's going to continue to short, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like it's done and that's where it's running. It's gathering liquidity. It's running down there to gather liquidity to potentially run long. So, all right, so that candle closed. I just don't want anything to move. All right. That's a small, as ridiculous as it sounds, and I'm zooming in. That's a volume imbalance. Even as small as it is, that's enough to not do what I had gotten accustomed to doing, which is, hey, yeah, if that gets swept out and we close back inside, we can just run to the other side. Volume imbalance basically is going to tell you that, yeah, it closed below, it can continue to run, but when it comes back up here, it may not close back inside. It may close in here just to satisfy price, right? Before maybe grabbing some more liquidity to continue long. So the old whipsaw effect. But we'll see. I guess I can hang out with you guys for like a little bit. I just took a shower before I got out here, so I'm, starting to get a little hot. I should have locked myself out of my combine. I didn't, but oh well. Oop, didn't mean to do that. Oh. All right, let's see. There it goes. All right, cool. I got that. Sorry, I had to just double check. I just want to make sure, like I said, what happened last night didn't happen tonight. So I think we've got the live streaming thingamajiggers figured out. I got those figured out. So cool. Yeah, so this may be the key. That's why I was saying, like, tonight wasn't going to be a night that I necessarily was going to want to try to look and see if we were going to get position. It honestly, at this point, it's probably going to be more or less a, some level of crapshoot, because I don't anticipate price running at all. Now, in the interest of anybody that's looking, this is a massive inversion fair value gap, which should kind of hold in order to get price back up top. So I'll tell you what, let's see if this closes back inside, and then we'll literally just target open candle high. We'll just target right there. Not make a big deal out of it. Yeah, we've got like 4 minutes before this candle closes. So we'll see. and the backstop of this, the risk management could be in one of two places, honestly. The best risk management, I'm just throwing this out here as, like not a what if, but the best risk management is going to be right there. This would probably be a little bit better if you were going under the assertion that the inversion was going to hold price. But as we all know, this is not a perfect scenario where you don't get closures through or wicks through, which could stop you out. So, I mean, but just to give you like a visual of like what might be something that would be considered as to, well, if you're entering, where's that stop going? Like, where would you limit your risk? And again, I'm going to go back and I'll say again, even with this imbalance that's sitting in here, that's going to that may promote another swing lower to grab additional liquidity to continue up. So it may not be as simple as you've swept and you've taken liquidity. We're going to close back up and inside, and we'll chop, or we'll do the serrated edge dance all the way back up to 6. It may not do that. All right, so we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to candle close. So hope everybody had a good day today. Whether you were in the markets or work or home or wherever you were. So hopefully you had a good day, decent day. Everybody's safe. Just kind of looking to maybe get some rest, some relaxation, and start again anew, better tomorrow. Because I know that's kind of my MO every day. It's like no matter what happens today, I feel like, and I can't remember the guy's name from the second Wall Street movie, Wall Street Never Sleeps, where I always mispronounce the guy's name, Shia LaBeouf, like his boss at the firm, he going and he asked his boss, is like, how you doing? Like I kind of, I embody where he says, how you doing? I can't remember the guy's name. He's like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, well, it's all the same. Good day, I'm okay. Bad day, I'm okay. So thank you, Solo Trader. I appreciate it. Yeah, I enjoy that movie. I enjoy that a lot. So yeah, just positive vibes. So, and this is doing well, I'm not going to say exactly what I thought, but because of where this is closed, yeah, it's not interested. So let's see what it does at the inversion here. Excuse me. I say, I'm gonna make it. I have to write either in my journal or I have to put like a little sticky on my computer. I have to find, and I know it's out there. I just have to get it and add it into like my repertoire of things to do. But I need that Admiral Akbar from Star Wars, from Return of the Jedi, when something happens on the chart, I sort of be able to like hit a button on my stream deck and be like, don't take that cuz, and then push the button where it goes, it's a trap. Like it just um I'm saying I'm saying that because I'm just watching here, and I'm not making it seem like this is like a home run position or this is so high probability or whatever, but just in terms of what price is kind of showing that it's going to put in at this mean threshold or CE of fair value, it's almost if you have to wait. Well, at this point, the 620 is not really going to be a candle I would want to do anything off of. The 625 would be. Reason being, we just want to make sure that this is actually the low. I don't even care that it's drawing up. That means nothing to me. I would want to see the next candle closure above the swing point. So in essence, we're instead of saying, we're going to be waiting for like another 2 minutes for candle close, it's not really 2 minutes. It's like more like 13 minutes. Or excuse me, 13 minutes. Wow, Jeremy. What time frame are you on, sir? What time frame are you looking at, buddy? Okay, does it go through? Or are you gonna play nice? Okay, so this one may play nice. I went from saying, hey, I'm just gonna do a quick, live check and blah, 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 and then we're gonna be off 30 minutes later. Like I'm still And the truth is, I would have come on to check and make sure everything was good. I would have done a little video, and then I would have gotten off a live stream, and guess what? I would have still been sitting right here doing what I'm doing. So okay. All right, so about 30 seconds for this candle closure. And so far, it's looking pretty good to close back in. Well, it was. Close back inside. But it's not so much this candle. It'll be the next candle. Like I said, we'll be, we'll wait and see what the 825 closure is. And honestly, if the 825 closes, and it doesn't have to be an extreme closure. The 825 candle just has to close inside of this. It just has to close inside this low for me. It's the only place. It's another volume imbalance. So sometimes when I do my faceless videos, and I'll whip out like my my path tool, I'll just be doing crazy crap like this. When I see volume imbalance, that's what I think. Like it doesn't even matter that it doesn't look coordinated. Because I realize that at some point you're gonna get price is gonna paint It's gonna paint. It's literally, it's just gonna try to, at bare minimum, it's just looking to pair price. At bare minimum. Best case, it's gonna try to balance that little bit of range, or make sure that there's equal participation on both sides as much as possible. It's still gonna leave some level of inefficiency um on either the internal or the external side, but for the most part, it'll pair. But as I said, if just based on the direction this candle is going, it doesn't necessarily look like we're going to get that. We were, if this pops back up. Let's see. No. Yeah, we're probably in store for some one-sided delivery for now. And forgive me, I'm so sorry if I sound like a broken record, but um it's one of the ways that I've been able to find some level of consistency is, you know, just try to, sometimes dumbing things down also means kind of being repetitive in certain things. So I think my analysis a lot of times is very rudimentary compared to a lot of other people in the space. But again, if there's one-sided participation, or we have like a one-sided Globex, especially if we're going down at some point, I'm looking for what is that turning point? Well, we've got this inversion. It's not necessarily going to hold, but if you look back here, we've got another one here. So is it possible we run this out short, and maybe we run this out short and we come back in here before making our move back long? I mean, it's certainly possible, right? It's possible. That was bearish, and this was an inversion in here to go long. And get rid of that. I was just using that for PM session. Okay. That might have been just a shake. Okay. So this looks like this is doing kind of what I indicated. So yeah, as long as it's a closure above this, we could try this. But it has to maintain that. And if you're wondering why I'm looking at this candle as being the potential reasoning as to, why we can get in, because in order for this entire candle range to be run long, it's going to put us back inside the 6 p.m. candle range. We'll be well within it ultimately if it closes or whatever happens. So let's just see real quick and be ready to hop in here. Here's a close. You just want to make sure it doesn't gap down, but that's a close inside. So I'll take that. And then we'll just move. And if we get stopped, we get stopped. No big deal. No big deal. Where is my TP, man? Good Lord. I always got to go hunting for my take profit. It's like when you have a dog and you take them outside and maybe they haven't been out for a minute. And you're like, you're telling them like, look, I'm going to take you off the leash. Just don't go crazy. They give you that look like, no, I'm not going to go. I'm just going to go to the curb. And you take the leash off and they're just like, they take off. They don't really go anywhere, but it's like, I'm free. That's my TP when I take a market order. It's like, okay, we're going to get in here. Where's anybody seen the TP? TP. Come back. Come back. Is my head in the way? No, my head's not in the way. All right. So let's see if we get liquidated or not. I think this is the part that people talk about, trading psychology and all of the like the technicals. I honestly feel like once you've, and I don't know that anybody, and you guys could correct me, because obviously I only know like a handful of aspects, but I don't know that anybody ever really talks about the like that inner silence. And this is like after you push the button, after you're in a position, it's not so much like once you get past the emotional attachment, right, which is the biggest, I feel like that's the biggest hurdle, but it's not that. It's literally like it's like the inner, what I describe as like the inner silence as you kind of just watch price, right? That I think that is a very boring thing for most people when they're like, how can you do that? It's not boring for me. I mean, I might just be a dull person as I've gotten older. Maybe I've just gotten dull. I don't know. But it's not, it's interesting to me. Um, but my point is, I think that there may be some that come into the space, and obviously they're looking at what the reward is, if your bias and everything plays out right, like they're looking at that and they're looking at the benefit to it. But it's a I don't know, I always call it like the silence, and if you can still yourself just long enough to just let whatever's going to happen, but to read and watch. And I think that because there's the quick money aspect still, and the how many ever number of YOLOs that exist, there are a lot of them that just say I'm gonna swing for the fence on every one. Like when they get into positions, they can't sit still, whether they're in profit or even in drawdown, and they're just like, I can't do that. I think it speaks maybe, and I'm not putting myself on any kind of mantle. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Solo Trader. You make me think I'm not the only one. I think those are the times that either you stay out, you have stop loss, nothing. Yeah, exactly. It's like once you commit to it. I rode motorcycles for years, and my mother never, like, she was she was an interesting woman. She would say things like, what would possess you? I'm trying to remember how she said it, because it was, looking back on it, it's funny now, and it was kind of humorous when she said it. And I'm like, only you, ma. But she said something to the effect of, what would possess you to want to ride something at an ungodly speed sitting on a gas tank? And I don't remember exactly what I said to her. I said something, to the effect of like, I said something to the effect of like, only you would like describe it that way, like, some Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome thing. But I'm I bring that up just to simply say, like, once, like you said, Solo, once you set like your stop, like that's it. It's kind of the same thing where you say, okay, well, listen, I'm committed to whatever this outcome is, and then that's just it. So then the emotion and the feeling goes away, and I know I can sit here now and say that, not because I'm, live streaming and whatever, but because I think I've done the work enough to where if I cut a position, I'm cutting it not because of emotion. I'm cutting it because I'm like, hey, it's a capital preservation thing at that point. Now, granted, this is a practice account. That's what's my risk here? $160. I mean, I'm okay. So it's like I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with the result. So but that goes back again, just to kind of bring it full circle. I think that's one of the things that goes back to the people that come into the space that are just literally looking for home runs. And even though they may understand a trading plan or strategy or whatever it is, the additional psychological work they haven't done to be able to just say, okay, it's what's the expression? Set and forget, right? I hate that. You could have a mechanical trading strategy, and I get the premise behind the whole set and forget, but I literally I just don't I don't like that whole mindset behind that. I don't know. Doesn't It doesn't make sense to me. It just seems like it's a disassociative way to still not be able to deal with fluctuations in price. That's and again, that's my big brain small version of how I see that. I look at that as somebody saying, "Hey, look, if it, I don't want to be I don't want to be around when it loses, but hopefully I get back right before it wins so I could snapshot it and post it to Instagram." Why? You're probably going to get stopped here. Unless we get a favorable move back up in the body of this candle in like the next 45 seconds, because this candle will close in the next 45. Only saving grace is that it's still sitting, and I'm just eyeballing the mean threshold for that inversion. Like it's still holding, which again would tell you, like, if there's no body closure below it, like it's not really, but that doesn't, means nothing. And we're out. So, oh well, that wasn't it. So let's see where the candle closes. Let's see if it pops back up. Like, I'm not. That's my one and done, even on a practice account. So I wouldn't be getting back in. Okay, so that's a close through. Yeah. So I think we're gonna be headed for the one sided delivery into Asia. So I don't know. Maybe I know I won't be back on. I'm gonna hop off here, and I'll probably check because I've got to get up and head into that job early. But hopefully I'm back here like I was this morning. I'm hopeful to be back home and at my workstation before the 9:30 open. I literally got here this morning like at like 9:28. So I'll be extremely interested just to kind of see what we get here. But Solo Trader, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. trying to not necessarily be like everybody else that's in this space on this platform. Just trying to carve out my little corner. Realistically, just to kind of record and journal and I don't know. As I like to say, there's somebody out there that um kind of like I was. I think there are a lot of people that are like I was, which is, you want the information, um, and you want somebody to be able to tell you, hey, this is what I'm looking at, plain and simple English. So I don't know. All right, Solo Trader. I'll try to have a good night. You take care. You have a good night as well. And I'll see you guys next time. So you take care.